William Kipchirchir Samoei Arap Ruto'S CGH, born December 21, 1966, is a Kenyan politician who is the fifth and current president of Kenya since September 13, 2022. Prior to becoming president, he served as the first elected deputy president of Kenya from 2013 to 2022. He previously served in 3 cabinet portfolios as a Minister for Home Affairs, the Minister of Agriculture, and as Minister for Higher Education. Ruto was elected Member of Parliament for Eldoret North constituency from 1997 to 2007 under the KANU, and from 2007 to 2013 through the ODM party. He was the Minister for Home Affairs in the Daniel Arap Moi administration from August to December 2002 under the Mwai Kibaki administration. He was a Minister for Agriculture from 2008 to 2010 and Minister for Higher Education from April to October 2010. Ruto first contested for the presidency during the 2007 election, but lost to Raila Odinga on the ODM party primaries. Together with Musalia Mudavadi, who finished second, he then supported the candidature of Odinga. He again ran for the presidency on the 2013 election, but withdrew his candidature in favor of Uhuru Kenyatta. He was later nominated to run for the deputy presidency in the 2013 election under the United Republican Party, becoming the running mate of Uhuru Kenyatta from the National Alliance TNA. He was re-elected to the deputy presidency under the Jubilee Party in the 2017 Kenyan general election. Ruto successfully ran for the presidency in the 2022 election, this time under the United Democratic Alliance UDA. Amidst the fallout, Kenyatta supported his opponent Raila Odinga. The election was marred by allegations of electoral fraud by allies of Odinga, although international observers have not corroborated such claims. Early life and education. A member of the Kalenjin people of the Rift Valley Province. 8. William Ruto was born on December 21, 1966, in Sambut Village, Kamagut, Uasin Gishu County, to Daniel Cheruiyot and Sarah Cheruiyot. Education. Ruto started his education at Kamagut Primary School, then transferred to Karatet Primary School, both situated within the Uasin Gishu County, and he sat for his Certificate of Primary Education, CP, at the latter. He then proceeded to Warring Secondary School, still in Uasin Gishu County, and later Kapsabet High School in Nandi County, where he obtained his ordinary level and advanced level education respectively. He then enrolled at the University of Nairobi to pursue botany and zoology, graduating in 1990 with a BSc. He went on to complete an MSc in plant ecology, also from the University of Nairobi. The year after his graduation, he enrolled for a PhD at the same university, and after several setbacks, he completed and graduated on December 21, 2018. Ruto authored several papers, including one titled Plant Species Diversity and Composition of 2 Wetlands in the Nairobi National Park, Kenya. During his time in the campus for his undergraduate education, Ruto was an active member of the Christian Union. He also served as the chairman of the University of Nairobi's choir. 16. Through his church activities at the University of Nairobi, he met President Daniel Arap Moi, who would later introduce him to politics during the 1992 general elections. Political career. After graduating from the University of Nairobi in 1990, Ruto was employed as a temporary teacher in the North Rift region of Kenya from 1990 to 1992, where he was also a leader of the local church choir, the Africa Inland Church, president of the December 2007 presidential election. Following the election and the dispute over the result, Kenya was engulfed by a violent political crisis. Kibaki and Odinga agreed to form a power-sharing government. In the Grand Coalition Cabinet named on April 13, 2008 and sworn in on April 17, Ruto was appointed as Minister for Agriculture. Ruto also became the Eldoret North's Member of Parliament from 2008 to March 4, 2013. Ruto was among the list of people who were indicted to stand trial at the ICC for their involvement in Kenya's 2007/2008 political violence. However, the ICC case was faced with challenges, especially concerning the withdrawal of key prosecution witnesses. In April 2016, the court dropped the charges against Ruto. On April 21, 2010, Ruto was transferred from the Agriculture Ministry and posted to Higher Education Ministry, swapping posts with Sally Kosgei on August 24, 2011. Ruto was relieved of his ministerial duties, but remained a member of parliament. He joined with Uhuru Kenyatta to form the Jubilee Alliance for the 2013 presidential election. Deputy Presidency. Ruto with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2016. Acting President. On October 6, 2014, Ruto was appointed acting president of Kenya by the then President Uhuru Kenyatta, following a summons to appear before the ICC. He served in the role between the 6th and the 9th of October 2014, while President Kenyatta was away at The Hague. When he officially handed over power to Ruto at the Parliament on October 6th, Uhuru explained, "To protect the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya, I will sign a legal notice appointing Hon William Ruto as acting president while I attend the status conference." In the August 2017 general elections, Uhuru and Ruto were declared victors after garnering 54% of the total votes cast. However, the Supreme Court of Kenya nullified the election, and a fresh election was held in October 2017. The opposition boycotted the fresh election, and Uhuru and Ruto were re-elected with 98% of the total votes cast. The Supreme Court upheld the results of the second election. Presidential campaign. In December 2020, Ruto announced his alliance with the newly formed United Democratic Alliance Party. He was the only presidential candidate to attend the second part of the 2022 presidential debate. On August 15, 2022, 6 days after the general election held on August 9th, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission Chair Wafula Chebukati announced that Ruto had won the presidential election, defeating candidate Raila Odinga of the Azimio La Umoja Party. Ruto received 50.49% of the valid votes cast, while Odinga received 48.85%. Odinga disputed the presidential election results announced by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and he challenged the results with the Supreme Court. On September 5th, the Supreme Court judges unanimously found that evidence presented by Odinga's campaign inconclusive and upheld the election of Ruto as the winner of the election. In response to the ruling, Odinga said he respected the Supreme Court's decision, even though he strongly disagreed with it. Presidency. On September 13th, 2022, he was inaugurated at Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, in a ceremony presided over by Chief Justice Martha Koome and attended by over 20 heads of state and government. The inauguration day was declared a public holiday. Attendance was very high, with groups of the general public clashing with security officials when trying to enter the stadium. However, the event continued peacefully. Following his inauguration, he officially began his term as President of Kenya. After taking office, Ruto pledged to address climate change and end the use of fossil fuels in Kenya's electricity production by 2030. On September 18, 2022, President Ruto made his first foreign trip as head of state to United Kingdom, during which he attended the state funeral of the late Queen Elizabeth II on September 19, 2022 at Westminster Abbey in London. 2 days later, on September 21, 2022, President Ruto made his debut address as head of state to the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, in New York. He nodded to President Biden's Build Back Better domestic plan, proposing a global effort toward building back better from the bottom upward. The goal, he said, should be including the marginalized, working majority in the economic mainstream. Other themes he addressed were the expansion of the representation of Africa on the UN Security Council, 53, increase investment in the African continent, moving Africa from aid to investment, tapping the ever-bustling human capital for economic prosperity, and concerted effort towards tackling climate change in the world. In September 2022, he said that the Horn of Africa was experiencing its worst drought in 40 years, adding that 3.1 million people are facing severe drought in Kenya alone. Asked about the ongoing Tigray war in northern Ethiopia between government forces and Tigray rebels, Ruto said that whatever happens in Ethiopia gets to Kenya. Speaking about the Somali civil war, he said that Kenyan troops will come back home as soon as we're done with the assignment that we have in Somalia. In November 2022, Ruto's government launched the Hustler Fund, a loan program to grant immediate loans to Kenyan citizens. In 2023, Ruto proposed a large-scale privatization of public enterprises, noting that it is not economically viable to keep pumping government resources into sustaining those corporations. On June 25th, 2024, at least 5 people were killed when public order broke down over tax protests. Ruto proposed several tax rises because more than half of its annual tax revenues are spent to service debt. The increased taxes are proposed on everything from car ownership and financial transactions to sanitary pads. On July 11th, Ruto sacked most of his cabinet save for the deputy president and prime cabinet secretary. And the next day, the police chief Japhet Kum resigned after 40 people died over the past month in the Kenya Finance Bill protests. Kum was held responsible for police violence against protesters. It was noted that about 60% of Kenya's collective revenues goes to servicing debt. In September 2024, William Ruto and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz signed an agreement that opened the German labor market to up to 250,000 skilled and semi-skilled migrant workers from Kenya. The agreement will also simplify the deportation of Kenyans from Germany. There are concerns about brain drain in Kenya, as professionals such as doctors and nurses could leave for better-paying jobs in Germany. The deal was made at a time when the anti-immigration AfD party is growing in popularity in Germany. Personal life. Ruto is married to Rachel Chebet. They first lived in Dagoretti, where they had their first child. They were married in 1991 at the Africa Inland Church. They currently have 6 children. Ruto is an evangelical Christian and a member of the Africa Inland Church. Ruto owns a chicken farm in his home village of Sugoi, which was originally inspired by a stint as a chicken hawker on the Nairobi-Eldoret Malaba Highway. Ruto and his wife built a chapel in their compound at their residence in the Karen suburb of Nairobi. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.